What are those indices you have seen that would make you say 2019,
Okay, okay,
2023,
okay.
we're almost there?
Democracy is growing in Nigeria. And as I said, I quoted, it was Clinton that said it, that democracy, things are slow in happening in a democracy. But without democracy, nothing is sustainable. No development is sustainable. So, as we move on, sustainability is guaranteed. The police will know that, look, I will need to take order from the governor of the state. The IG will know that he will have to take order from the president. The chief of defense staff, chief of army staff, chief of naval staff, chief of air force will know that they have to take order from the commander-in-chief. And along the line, you also have the doctrine of separation of power. We should make all these things to fall in place. And we now know that, look, if I don't do well, another 4 years is by the corner, and I could be voted out. So people, gradually, what we're witnessing now, the only thing we're witnessing now is people, buying people's conscience. They will now know that it's no longer fashionable. That, look, you are mortgaging your conscience, you are mortgaging your life, and the life of your children and children, a generation yet unborn. Because if everybody is aware that, look, my vote is my weapon to choose my leader, a leader that protect me, that guarantee life more sustainable. Why do we rush out of this country? It's because we believe that life is more abundant elsewhere.
I want to look at the influence of the card reader. We all saw what happened yesterday. Yes. I was looking at that on the effect of the total vote turnout.
Yes.
We do know that in the morning, quite a number of people came out for these elections. Yes. In many places, INEC officials didn't show up on time, and when they eventually, people waited for them. Yes. When they eventually did, in some areas where the card readers didn't work, it took a while for that order to come, that manual accreditation was acceptable. And so in some places, accreditation started pretty late. Some people couldn't wait to get to finish the final process because of how long it was taken. How do you think that this will eventually affect the voter turnout, or the votes, or the results that we will see?
The result, yes. You see, my only worry is that somewhere along the line, the process will not be tampered with. Because in any human endeavor, or in any endeavor whatsoever, the human element is key. Who operates the machine? Who designs the machine? Who collates the results? Who releases the results? Not machine. Human beings have to be there. We are only hoping, and I hope very well, that at this point in time of our nationhood, we realize that, look, the only path to glory is for us as a nation to do the right thing, knowing fully well that at the end of the day, we bear full responsibility for our action and inaction.
I'm going through some of the tweets now, and it would seem that some people cannot wait, even though there are news that a lot of people have not been able to vote.
Yes, as I said, we're hoping that along the line, nothing is done, nothing untoward is done to tamper with the process that we are all acclaiming now.
So you
and that is post-election management.
You mean that it is not yet over until we've seen the results?
No.
Some people cannot wait for that result to come out. How long do you think it's going to take? INEC has said
ordinarily, the maximum of 48 hours, 2 days. But for other places, I do not know if they'll be announcing elections for federal constituencies at the constituency level, and the central election at the central level, and the presidential election surely will be from Abuja.
Talking about the announcements, they've been, people have been tweeting announcements on the polling units and all of that.
Because have been bandied about an address, not to be relied upon, and the media have been admonished not to publish any results until they are officially announced.
And the official announcements coming from INEC.
INEC,
this is
yes.
the federal election.
INEC, yes.
Well,
you're going to have a returning officer, chief returning officer, who's going to make the announcement in Abuja. But for the House of Rep and this, by now we should be having the results, especially in areas where elections have been concluded.
Okay. Some people are also wondering, because I'm also looking at what exactly transpired yesterday. Some people are wondering what exactly is going to take place in the next couple of days. What do you think we should, and what the implication of this, what we saw yesterday and today, what effect do you think it will have on the elections we're seeing in 2 weeks' time?
I think the two dominant political parties are now quite sober. I've been listening to them. They've been quite reconciliatory. The president and commander-in-chief has been quite reconciliatory. And I can read his lips. He's quite sober. The heat of the the campaign, the show.
What I mean is, in terms of the conduct of the election.
Yes, what I'm saying. I'm coming back to that.
Yes.
And again, Buhari also appealed to his supporters. Let's take the outcome of the election with equanimity and all the rest. In fact, I don't know. Okay, let me use a better word. The spokesman of the PDP has been very sober. He's now sounding reconciliatory. He's now trying to be like a good public relations person. Lai Mohammed also has not said anything to the contrary. So we expect that barring any untoward event, barring any manipulation, we're going to accept the result in good faith, and that we are going to move forward, and that at the end of the day, the country will be better for it.
Do you think that they will be accepting, just a moment, do you think that they'll be accepting the use of the card readers in the next
We don't have any option. It has come to stay.
You said it earlier on, and you said there's a first cause and everything. There must be a start, and this, you say, is the
Yes,
start.
what we got so far. I mean, if you, as a teacher, if my student scores 80%, if I have a student who scores 80%, of course, I mean, that's A+. We are saying that, okay, you only have a problem with about 5%. And 5%, what does that get to?
It's quite significant when you...
It is not.
Just a moment. It's quite significant when you have that sort of hitch, because yesterday we were monitoring the two presidential candidates, do the accreditation and also do the voting. It's quite significant when you have the president of the country waiting for a while. From what INEC said happened with the field test they conducted, they said they had 100% card recognition. When the president and his wife's card could not be read, you don't think that would raise cause for alarm, because that did not quite fit in with what INEC was saying about recognition of almost all the cards. Where they had the problems and seemed to be expecting the problems was with the thumbprint authentication.
As a communication expert, as a lawyer, and as a policy analyst, there could be the issue of fifth columnist. There could be the issue of sabotage, which Gaudi mentioned. We can say the human element is there, is key. And again, we talked about the issue of a film, being not removed and all the rest. I mean, it's not the machine that will remove its own, the film on it. It's human being. So, the religion of duty cannot be ruled out. And people being mischievous can also not be ruled out.
Do you think that this, the card readers now that have been introduced, accepted, do you think it paved the way for electronic voting in the next election?
Well, I don't know where they will move from there. I'm not part of INEC. I'm not part of the decision-making process.
Because
maybe if they ask us, of course, we'll move to the next level.
Okay.
Yes.
Many had thought that with the card readers, people will be able to vote from any part.
There's no system. There's no system that is fraud-proof.
If I may
In America, you've forgotten, during Bush, the Florida experience, that was key to the election of the president. And the governor of that state was the younger brother of President Bush.
How did they manage that? Remind us again, because
Because
a lot of people watching from across the world
they put the
thought
interest of the country above self. Otherwise, it was to be a very laborious and rancorous litigation.
Captain Lee, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I was trying to talk about the movement from the manual to the electronic. If you look at our planet today, the e-age is upon us. Now, if you look at ever since the campaigns started, ever since the campaigns for 2015 started, as far back as 3 years ago, there's something that dawned on me looking at it from the security perspective. I discovered that the polity, the populace, was smarter than all the parties involved, political parties. So you were looking at an e-compliant populace that was actually interacting with parties that were not on the e-platform as yet. Now, for these parties to be able to sell or get the buy-in or get carried along by, by the populace, they must actually get in line with the trends, the aspirations, the yearnings of the people. And that is where we are going. You are going to be seeing, let me say, remodification of political partyship in Nigeria going forward. Because when you come forward with a position and you have a populace that is giving you 5 or 6 other superior options, it means you are obsolete. And I observed that pretty much during this particular elections, and no less for our security agencies too. If I could say the crime sector, there is hyperinflation of crime, as the economists will put it, where you have more crime than there is law enforcement and security and intelligence options to grapple with. So the criminals are becoming smarter thanks to social media. So we have to challenge our governments. I look to see that day when the Nigerian police will have a cyber command. It's all about EEE, no less INEC. The challenges are going to come, yes, but the challenges are just another way of saying get better, get smarter.